Hi guys. Hi guys, how are you today? Hope that your day is starting well, or maybe even ending if you're watching this in the evening. I just thought I would do a short sequence to help release lower backs, because I know that that's a common area where people find they get a bit jammed up, a bit of sciatic pain, a little bit of stuff happening around that mid-body, yeah? So this practice is all about just releasing that and finding a bit of freedom back in there again. So to start with, just want you sitting on your heels if you can. Now if you find this really uncomfortable on your knees, grab a cushion off the couch and pop that between your heels and your bum, and that will give you a bit of relief if you're a bit tight through the thighs. So my philosophy on lower back stuff is that if our thigh muscles and our glutes and our butt muscles are relatively limber, then they're not going to keep dragging that lower back out of shape. So this practice is going to be around working through those areas and helping you to feel a little bit more freer, I guess. So to start with, sitting on your heels like this, take a deep breath in through your nose, big sigh out through your mouth. Another one just like that, breathe in and breathe out. And then closing the mouth down, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. Let's just keep breathing like this. So the purpose of this breathing is to have us feel mindful about how we're going to move. So we're starting to focus on one point, which is our breath. It's also holding you in this kneeling position. So if this is already quite challenging, you can always come out, straighten your legs, do whatever you need to do, but just practicing by sitting like this is good for us, yeah? Let's stay here for 4 more sets of breath. If you're feeling challenged, you know you can change the shape. But if you're not experiencing any pain, it's just discomfort or uncomfortable, then just stay for a couple more breaths. Last set. Good, now we're ready to move. So we're just going to come on to hands and knees, show you side on. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees back under hips, and we're going to start with cat and cow. So the cat is a tuck of the chin, tuck of the tailbone. And the reverse movement, the cow, is lifting the tailbone, lifting the chin. Going back up into your cat pose. And your cow. Thinking about how is this feeling in your back? So it might be feeling quite stiff and quite hard to manage. In that case, don't push through. Just pause wherever you feel that tightness and then breathe into that space. Keep breathing. I like to breathe in as I go into my cat. And breathe out into the cow. But if you like to do a different breath, that's fine. Just go with what works. Really good pose for just helping to figure out what's happening, particularly in the middle of the back, the thoracic, and even around the neck and the shoulders. Good one. One more set of breath. Then we're going to take the knees wide, toes together, a good little crack out of my hip just then, and you're going to sink your tailbone down towards your heels. Let the chest and the head come down as well. Now if you find this hard to do, make a little pillow with your hands, or grab a pillow if you like, put your head down on it. And then I want you to lengthen your arms forward, so pop your fingertips and your thumb tips up. So you've made little tunnels with your hands. Let the forehead stay down, and you've got a really long line of energy running from that pinky finger on both arms all the way up your arms, through your armpit, down past the ribs, all the way all the way along the back and then down, curving into the buttocks. So nice hearty breaths here. So this child's pose is great for stretching through the back. Take one more breath in and out. And then you're going to come back into your cat and cow position. So we're going to repeat that same shape. This practice can be done by everyone, I mean it, everyone, old, young, injured, uninjured, you know, whatever. This is a really nice, gentle couple of movements that is going to help find some space in your body, in your back especially, so that you don't walk around like the Tin Man. And maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to stand up, put your undies on in the morning. No jokes, eh? Because that's the goal of yoga for a lot of us, is just to have a mobile body. Good. Let's slide back into that child's pose again. Send those arms long. So everything we practice here at Moksha is what I call functional, yeah? It's movements to help you live your life fully, not particularly so that you'll go doing bungee jumping and all that crazy stuff, but just so that you can actually live well, yeah? So that you can go for a big walk, you can put your knickers on without having to lie down on the bed. You know, simple things, picking up a load of washing and not wrecking your back. Good, coming back up onto those hands and knees, this time sliding down onto the forearms, and we're going to straighten out that front leg. So give the front leg a good deep stretch here. Let the head hang, you don't want the neck and the shoulders engaged, they're just propping, the shoulders and the elbows are holding your upper body quite easily. Nice one. And then we'll take this front leg out to the side. Press the foot flat if you can, and see if you can line up your ankle with your hip. You might really feel this on the inside of your thigh. That's where you're meant to feel it. So if this is too much, you just come out whenever you need to. Try not to dump in this supporting leg, so keep that leg really well lined up with your hip and your knee stacked. Good, and then bring that front leg back in, and the back legs turn to take that nice deep stretch through the calves, through the back of the thigh. You're completely in control of how much energy you push into that heel. You know, if you've had an Achilles injury lately, you're probably not going to put a whole lot of pressure through the heel right now. Very good though if you've had, you know, a bit of a tight hamstring set up, this will really help. And then we'll take that leg out to the side. And of course, still breathing in and out through your nose, because the breath is a big part of being able to release tension and to let these muscles take the stretch. Like anything, if you go into a state of panic or fright, you're going to hold your breath. You're going to be poised, ready for action. Everything's going to tighten up. By breathing nice and deeply, you're letting your nervous system know that all is well, and everything can just relax. You're not having to take off in a fast moment somewhere. Beautiful. Bring that knee back in and then coming back up onto the hands. Let's just do a little bit of a core test here to see what's happening within the body. So what I'd like you to do is to straighten out your back leg. Some of you are going to need to keep both hands down, but if you feel like you can lift off your front arm, just reach that forward. So you've got an opposite line of energy. Your front arm and your back leg are off the ground. Your head is looking straight down at the floor, and then I want you to lift up through your belly. Good. This is meant to be quite challenging. If you're really struggling, put that hand back down and even lower the leg. So there's plenty of options. Good little power up for the back. Breathe in. And then with control, place the hand down, bring the knee back to earth. Ooh. Wiggle, wiggle the tail, and then we'll give this other leg a chance. Front leg goes nice and long. Now notice what I'm doing for my toes. It's not ballet feet, it's papamoa feet. This is what I call papamoa feet because we like to walk around in bare feet in papamoa. And then straighten out your arm as well. So you've got that diagonal strength here, belly in, and feel what's happening in your back here. So again, if it's too much, put some points down. Give yourself some place to rest. Big breath in. And release it back down. Good, take a wiggle. One more on each side. So inhale, reach. Should feel slightly more comfortable the second time. You know what you're doing. Stay for a couple of breaths. Good, bring it back down. One more on the other side. Excellent, deep breath in. Put that hand and knee down, back to child's pose we go. So you can see there's a real opportunity to rest and stretch in between. Excellent, one more set of breath. And then rising back up. Cat and cow again. So 3 rounds we've made use of today. Just for a couple, noticing again how that back's feeling. Shoulders. Everything working together. Well done. Let's just sit back again on the knees, on the heels. Sit up straight. Roll the shoulders out. I've done a little bit in the shoulders already actually. Let's clasp the hands and give them a little stretch. Push the knuckles towards me. And then just roll over. Give them a little roll back a couple of times. Ooh, yeah, mine's giving a good little movement there. And then coming forward again. And back again. Roll it out. Nice one. Now, heaps of you have said my down dog's a disaster. Yes, it probably is. It's one of the hardest poses for beginners to get is down dog. We're going to do a down dog together. Okay, so here's how it's going to go. I want you to get your knees back. So a lot of us are starting too close. Not enough gap between hands and knees. Take it back. Then as you tuck your toes, push into your hands and lift your tailbone up to the sky. Keep your knees bent. Particularly this is a back one, so we don't want to stress everything out through the back of the legs. And then once you've got your hips high, draw your chest towards your thighs, bend your knees more, and then you can push the front heel down, keep the back knee bent. Change it over and try the other side. Pedal it out. If this is too much, child's pose, just come back down. This is a really, really good movement for backs. Keep lifting up through your pelvic floor. And then as you straighten both legs, come right up on your tippy toes. Let's just see what happens when you push your heels in. Ooh, I can hear you wincing from here. So when you get to that point where it's like, stop, breathe. Good work. We're going to have a rest. So let's bring this front leg up off the floor. And very gently, you're going to bring the knee through and place it beside the same hand. Wiggle the back leg back. Come down onto your elbows. This is pigeon pose. Really great stretch for the glutes, for that back leg, and maybe even some of you on the front thigh as well. Let your shoulders rest here. So what do you need to do? You might need to get a cushion to lay your forehead down on. Whatever you can, take the weight out of your neck. So we're not going to stay for hours and hours here, but what I really want you to think about is how can I make the most of this stretch right now? So Number one would be breathing nice and deeply. Number two would be releasing the tension around the shoulders and the neck so that the legs can just take the stretch without the upper body jamming up. No point fixing one part if you then wreck the other. Yeah, that's beyond what we want to do. Good-o. Then we're going to push up on the hands, tuck the toes, slide that front leg back into your down dog. Good practice for you. Now, if your down dog looks a bit like this, I really need you to work on lifting up through the hips and getting your chest through. Look back between your legs. Yes, it feels weird. It is an inversion. It's like doing a handstand without your legs above your head. Then we'll bring that back leg up. And we're going to slide knee to the same wrist on the same side of the body. Lay yourself down as you can. Don't worry if it takes time. And you know, like anything that's recorded like this, if you feel like you want to just pause in one place, just stay. It really won't matter. You can catch up later on where we go after this. Again, rest the head. And let the body just take the stretch. If you're really feeling this around that back buttock, good job. That's where you should be. Good, let's take 2 more sets of breath. Lovely, and then pushing up on the hands, same back channel, off we go, back up, down dog. Keep working on that down dog. I know that it's a bit tricky, take it for a pedal out. If your wrists get really tired, your elbows feel sore, that's normal. Take a rest, come down on your knees. Last couple of movements now, we're going to take a low runner's lunge. So your front leg lifts up and you're going to step forward, put your leg to the outside of your hands, okay? And then let your back knee rest. Take a nice long breath in and out. Another couple of breaths here, breathe in and out. Now, your spine needs to feel long, okay, and like on an angle, so the head is just slightly above the bottom line of the tailbone. Good. And then you're going to wiggle this front foot back in line with your hips and lift your toes. So you're in your hamstrings again, second time already, but in a different angle. So toes coming towards your face. Make sure you keep your hips nice and square. So what we tend to do is jut out to the side of that knee that's bent. Keep everything lined up and keep pulling up through the middle of your body. Good, one more set of breath. Excellent, bend into that front leg and just take the arm to the inside. Slide that leg around. We won't worry about a down dog, we'll just bring the back leg forward and bend the knee. So we're in our runner's lunge again with back leg. Thinking about length again through that spine, that's all we've got to worry about. Good, one more set of breath. And then lifting that foot, bringing it into the center, finding the hamstring stretch. So pretty short and sweet this practice today. Sometimes we don't have an hour to stretch out, and it's nice to just target a certain area of the body as well. So very much about releasing the legs, releasing the back. and releasing your breath. And hopefully any bad temper that might be staying in there. Good, one more lot of breath. Breathing in, breathing out, bending into that front knee, coming around again, taking child's pose one more time, just resting this time, letting the arms be soft, let the head relax. And taking 5 more sets of breath as you sit in child's pose. Arms soft, shoulders soft. When you finish your 5th breath, take your time. You might want to just roll over onto your back, lie in Shavasana for a couple more moments. If not, just very slowly come back up to sit. Take your time getting yourself upright, a couple of slow breaths to get the blood running back the right direction. Thank you for joining me. See you again next time. Namaste.